Okay, so we're starting a new siman, siman nun vav, important siman, the halachas of answering kaddish. So the first sif talks about the importance of Yehei, Shmei, Rabbah. Says the Mechaber, yesh lechaven ba'anias hakaddish. One has to concentrate, have a lot of kavanah when it comes to saying kaddish. Says the Mishnah Berurah in Sif Kotan Aleph, yesh lechaven, ki omru chazal, kol ha'ine omen Yehei, Shmei, Rabbah mevarach b'chol koichai. Everyone who answers Amen Yehei, Shmei, Rabbah with all his koyach, korin lo gzar dinoi, then any gzar din against him is ripped up. Rashi there in the Gemara in Shabbos says, Pshat in b'chol koichai means b'chol kavanosoi, with all his kavana, or b'chol evarav, and with all his limbs. In other words, he should put his everything into it. Tahainu, she'yamrena b'leiv v'nefesh, he should respond to kaddish b'leiv v'nefesh, with his heart and soul. V'lorak kamotzi b'svasav v'liboy bal imoy, and not that he's just sort of lip service, and not that his heart is concentrating. Gam yechaven l'shmoya hakaddish mipi hashliach tzibur. A person should also concentrate carefully to listen to the words of the shliach tzibur, kadei sheyeda al mahu oineh amen Yehei, Shmei, Rabbah, that he knows what the amen Yehei, Shmei, Rabbah is a response to. V'amen sha'achad da'amirin ba'alma, and also the amen after da'amirin ba'alma. V'chol shkein shetzarech lizohem ha'oid, we're at the beginning of Sif Aleph, of Siman Nun Vav. V'chol shkein shetzarech lizohem ha'oid ma'oid shelo lahsiach be'emtza kaddish le'kedusha. A person's got to be very, very careful not to talk during kaddish or kedusha, or chedis meseches derech eretz, like it's brought in Meseches Deres Eretz, the Rabbi Chama Ashkech Elio, that one time Rabbi Chama found Elio Hanovi, Bekama Alfei Gemalim Tu'unim Af V'chema, with thousands of camels who were loaded with Af V'chema, anger, L'shalem Le'elu, as a punishment for those who were talking during Kaddish or Kedusha. V'chol ha'medaber be'elu ha'mekomes, anyone who speaks during these points in Tefillah, Olov ha'kosovoyme v'loi oisi karosi Yaakov. That's what the Beis Yosef brings in Siman Kuf Kaf Ches. V'kosav b'Sefer Chasidim, and the Sefer Chasidim brings the following story: Ma'aseh b'chosid echod she'ro'a lechosid acher b'moisei or b'fanav merikos. He saw another chosid who, after his death, his face was green. Amaloi lama ponecha merikos. Why is your face green? Amaloi mipnei shoyisem medaber b'shah shliach tzibur ha'yom vayechulu u'birkas magen oves u'v'yiskadel. In other words, he would speak at these 3 points during Vayechulu, when we're on Friday night, when we're giving Eidos, during Mogen Oves, and during Kaddish. And therefore, as a punishment, his face was green. The one Chacham appeared to his Talmidim in a dream, and the Talmud saw that this Chacham, his Rabbi, had a stain, some sort of mark, a blemish on his forehead. What happened? Why did you get this stain? Because I wasn't careful from holding myself back from speaking when the Chazan was saying Kaddish. Even to think in Divrei Torah is not allowed. The poskim do say that if the Chazan is being ma'arich and is singing nigunim, during the nigunim, then it's okay. But during the Kaddish itself, one certainly shouldn't. That a person's got to really focus during Kaddish. That's quoting the Pri Chodesh. Doesn't make a chiluk what type of Kaddish it is. I guess it's talking about a Kaddish Drabonon. Okay, Sif Cotton base, HaKaddish, Nusach HaKaddish. Now, very interesting. Is it Yiskadal or Yiskadel? So says the Mishnah Berurah, Nusach HaKaddish Yiskadel v'Yiskadesh. Shehusad al pi hamikra v'hiskadalti v'hiskadashti ha'omer b'Yecheskel. It's a pasuk in Yecheskel. Then in Mechemes Gog and Magog, which is said in reference to the war of Gog and Magog. She'oz yiskadel shemay sh'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be great. Tichsiv b'yemahu yashem echad shmei echad v'yemah hadalas d'yiskadel v'yiskadesh b'tzeirei. We say Yiskadel v'Yiskadesh. That's what the Mishnah Berurah says. It seems there are different minhagim, because a lot of people say Yiskadal, and he says Ki hahu ivri v'lo targum, and therefore grammatically it's a lashon lakodesh, it's ivri, it's a Hebrew word, and therefore we say with the tzeri it's not a targum. And the Beis Yosef, he refers you to the Beis Yosef. V'lo b'shnei shvoin ki ilu hatov v'gimel b'shva. Not with where there's a shva under the tof and under the gimel. Ela hagimel bepatach Yiska. Yeah, there's a patach under the gimel. V'yadik ka gimel v'yiskadel, and there's a dogesh in the gimel of yiskadel. Yiskadel. They shouldn't pronounce it as Yiskadel, but Lashon Orach, which is Lashon of the neck. Targum Orach Kadol, because the Targum of the word Orach is a Kadol. You shouldn't emphasize overly the base in Yisparach. You should pronounce clearly the hey in the Yishalol. Di Vera shtei tevasein, and Di Vera is 2 words in Kaddish. Achar hatevas kirusei. After the word in Kaddish kirusei, yafsik ktsas. You should wait a little bit. There's a small gap. The tevas elu koyal malash yiskadol. Yes, the yiskadol v'yiskada Shmei Rabbah, but almo di Vera kirusei. And in fact, in the art scroll I can see here, he's put a full stop. Right? And then v'yamlich malchusei is a new theme. Bizman korev imru amen. Nochen sheyoyim hashliach tzibur habebasachas v'lo yafsik beinehem. Sorry, I've jumped a line. The tevas elu koyal malash yiskadol. Bizman korev v'imru amen. Nochen sheyoyim hashliach tzibur basachas. Bizman korev v'imru amen. The shliach tzibur should say in one shot. V'lo yafsik beinehem, and shouldn't make any gap between them. Ki noagim she'ein hakahal oinim. Amen hashliach tzibur amen. Because the meaning is that the tzibur don't say amen until the shliach tzibur says amen. Im hashliach tzibur marech harbe benigun shel ve'imru amen, if his being marech, he's prolonging these 2 words. Lo yamtin al abanias amen. They shouldn't wait. They should say amen as soon as he says the word amen. New thing, when the respondent says amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah, yafsik katsas bein amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah. So we hear the Kaddish, we say amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah. We have a little gap between amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah. Uchia gavna bein amen lemodim. Yeah, so too amen, and we answer modim. Modim drabonon, we should have a little gap between the amen and the modim. Ki tevas amen koyan nir shalashaz, because the amen is the response to the shliach tzibur. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, u'mayim b'vnei, that's a new thing. Yehei Shmei Rabbah hu targum shel Yehei Shmei hagadol mevayrach la'olam u'la'olmei olamim. That's the translation of it. Shmei is beli yud, gam beli mapik hey. You should say it with a mapik hey. Mevorach bekomatz tachas abayitz. It's mevorach. Or patach tachas hareish is mevorach. There's a patach under the reish. La'olam bekomatz tachas ha'ayin. It's la'olam. Or la'olmei bevov. V'tzorech hashatz gam kein lo belachas Yehei Shmei Rabbah. The shliach tzibur also has to say Yehei Shmei Rabbah v'lo yoma od hapam amen. But he doesn't say amen. He just says Yehei Shmei Rabbah. Rak yaschil Yehei Shmei. V'achach yaschil Yisparach. And then he says, B'kol Ram, he says Yehei Shmei Rabbah quietly. And then Yisparach, he says in a Kol Ram in a loud voice. V'yesh b'shmein l'shenish al-shevach. There are, in the Yisparach, v'yishtabach, v'yispar, v'yisremam, there are 8 expressions of praise. Keneged shiva rakim v'arakia shal gabi rosh hachayos. Okay, there are 8, he says. 8, which corresponds to the 7 Rakiyim, the 7 heavens, and the Rakia al Gabi Rosh Hachayos. Ubetchila Yiskadal V'Yiskada Shem Shnei L'Shonis Shevach. That's an extra 2 L'Shonis of praise. Shehem B'Sach HaKol Asara, so you got 10 in total. Yot L'Shonis Shevach. Keneged Aseres HaZibros, which corresponds to the Aseres HaZibros. Min Kol Birchosa is Sholosh Tevas, that's 3 words. Uvayom HaKshekov HaKadeshim Le'ila Le'ila, when during the Yom Noraim period, when we say Le'ila U'Le'ila, Ein Lo Merak Mikol Birchosa, we don't say Min Kol Birchosa, which are 3 words, it's Mikol Birchosa, Kadesh Lo Yehei B'Sach HaKol, Rak Kaf Ches Tevas. The total has got to be always 28. And therefore, we make it up by saying Mikol Birchosa when we add Le'ila U'Le'ila. Right. So every word is Oiske Cheshbon. There's a lot going on in Kaddish. Sif Cotton Gimel. V'lo yafsik. So let's go back now, to the Ramah. Says the Ramah in Sif Aleph, in Siman Nun Vav, V'lo yafsik ben Yehei Shmei Rabbah, you shouldn't make a hefsek lemevorach. In other words, we say Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam. So says the Ramah, you shouldn't put a hefsek between Yehei Shmei Rabbah and mevorach. Says the Hagos Hashri, B'Shem Arzorah, Kosav de L'Pirush Rishon lo yafsik ben Shmei le'Rabbah. Yehei Shmei the Rabbah, there shouldn't be a gap there. Well, the Pirush Ri, Ein lahafsik bein Rabbah lemevarach. Okay, whatever the hefsek is. Says the Ramah on that. Sif Kotzen Gimel. Sorry, says the Mishnah Berurah on that. Sif Kotzen Gimel. V'ayin b'prima godim umachza shekel tahainu shelo yafsik b'shtika beinehem. There shouldn't be a pause. Aval ein tzorech loma b'neshima achad. You don't have to say them in the same breath. Lemevarach, I'm Morgan Avram, Lefi Dvarav, Gam Ben Yehei Shmei Rabbah, Ein Lahafsik, also that. Okay, carrying on the Mechaba. V'lanus also b'kol ram. A person should say Kaddish, should respond, Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah, and all Amens in a loud voice, U'lishtadel loras kadei l'shma Kaddish, and you should run to hear Kaddish. It says in the Mishnah Berurah in Sif Cotton Hey, b'kol ram, sh'al yedei zeh, by responding in a loud voice, mis'oireh ha'kavona, that will encourage a person's kavona, v'al yedei kol zeh, mispatchin gezeres koshes. And through the loud response of Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah, that will annul any evil decree, any hard decree. But you shouldn't do it so crazily loud, that will cause a mockery, people will make fun, and that itself will become, you have caused them to do a chet because of your unusual response. You should run, says the Mechaber, Lishmaya Kaddish, says the Mishnah Berurah in Sif Cotton Vav, Sha'anias Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah hu mitzvah gedolah ma'od. Responding Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah is a great mitzvah. Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah odif tvei mikdusha modim is even greater than kedusha and modim. Lochein, therefore, bekehilas gedolas ba'azara yesh kam minyonim, where there's a lot of like a shtibel factory, lots of different minyonim. K'sheshemea shteihem ke'echod yane Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah. When you hear two of them together, you say Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah mikol makom im yesh lefonav shtei bot knisias. But if, however, you've got two shuls, interesting question. Echad magim lekadish sha'achas shmon esra. One has hit the kaddish, which is also shmon esra. But echad magim lekadusha. One is a kedusha. Which one is it better to go to? The kedusha or the kaddish after shmon esra? So yelech v'yanech kedusha. Listen to this. Your reasoning is right, but the application is wrong. Yelech v'yanech kedusha. Go to the one with the kedusha. Ki shom yishma gamkin lekadish sha'achas shmon esra. Because then you hear both. Yeah. Also, lahafsik be'emtz Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah. You can't be mafsik k'sheshemeh kedusha. What?
Well, if you stay still,
yeah, I guess. Well, lehepech sarchion. Okay, and the other way around not. Okay, let's go back to the Ramah. Hagah. V'yesh la'amod k'she'enin kaddish. Oh, says the Ramah, you should stand when you hear kaddish v'chol dover shebekdusha u'mi shebol beis hakneses v'shemeh hakal onin kaddish. Even if you didn't hear the beginning and you just come in the middle and you hear, then you should still answer. Like we said, says the Mishnah Berurah, let's finish off. Sif Cotton Zayin. You should stand at least until you said Yehei Shmei Rabbah. To stand till that point, which of course is the minhag. In Sfards, Achinu b'nei Sfards, they sit. Their minhag is to sit for Kaddish. If they're already sitting there, I think they sit, and if they're standing, they don't sit. But if they're already sitting, they don't get up. But that's interesting because the Ramah says Yesh Lamod. It's not the Mechaber who says this. It's striking. The first time you go to a Sfard shul, you see it. It's actually quite unusual, but it's for us Ashkenazim. We stand. Sif Cotton Ches. Dovar v'yesh oimrim she'ein tzarich lamod ela shekol kaddish shetofsu mo'emed kagoyin la'acha halal lo yeshiv ad sheyane Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah. Okay, v'yesh lochash ledivrei hamachmirim, which is what we do. V'yesh lilmod kal v'chomer me'eglon. You can learn a kal v'chomer from Eglon. Melech Moav shehoya nochri. He was not Jewish. V'kom me'atzam me'al kisel l'dvar Hashem. When he heard the Dvar Hashem, he stood up from his chair and he got majorly rewarded for it. The Gemara says, "Kolshken anachnu." How much more so should we do the same? Over kavonas issa she'arizal hoya noeg b'chol hakadeshim shteach amida d'shachris mincha arvis hoya nisha omet. He would stay standing for that. Ubeshal tiskabel v'chashel chazor sefer Torah hoya oinevach kach hoyesh. He would answer and then he would sit down. Over kaddish arvis shel Shabbos. For those who say a Kaddish before Baruch Hu on Friday night, you should stand for that one as well. Okay, if you didn't hear the beginning, you still respond, says the Mishnah Berurah in Sif Cotton Tes. Even if you come towards the end, the tzibur, the halfway through saying Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah, you don't say Amen, the Amen koyal yiskadol, the shliach tzibur. The Amen goes on the iskadol, which you didn't hear, so you can't say Amen, but you can say Yehei Shmei Rabbah. Yehei Shmei Rabbah, Shevach ba'al penafshu, that's a standalone praise of Hashem, and that's appropriate to say. V'cheinin in Kedusha, in Ba Kodim Sheshlimu, Mutzah Leimar Imohim, so too with regard to Kedusha, if you came in the middle, or you're allowed to be mashlim with them, If the majority is still saying Omen Yesh Rabbah, say it with them. So you're concentrating on what they're responding to. Etc. Last what's this going on? Yeah, when you start off saying Yiskadal, says the Ramah, say Atu Yigdal Nokech Hashem. Says the Mishbur in Sivkot and Yud, Kolema Kodim Shehischil, before Kaddish. To B'shah Shema Chazan Yiskadal. But once the Chazan started saying Yiskadal, Tzorach Lishma V'Lishta, you've got to listen, you've got to be quiet. K'mavur B'Reish Siman Kuf Chafei, like we said at the beginning. The Tzorach Lahazan L'havim Mashem Shliach Tzibur, you've got to listen to what the Shliach Tzibur is saying. V'kam She'eda Achkach Kol Amashen Oin Amen. And so you can answer, you can know what you're saying Amen too. Atu Yigdal. However, we don't do this, right? He didn't want to say this. Is actually not one of the tikkunim to say it. And therefore one shouldn't say it in a place where you shouldn't be mafsik. Okay, Mr. Shem will finish off next week.